Hello, I am audible. Hello, I am audible. Hello, I am audible. Okay, let's get started. So, today our topic is AWS DynamoDB. So, today our topic is AWS DynamoDB. What is AWS DynamoDB? It is a NoSQL database, right? So, in this live video, I will mostly focus about DynamoDB V1 version 1. So now version 2 also released. It is also using DynamoDB V1 version 1 is a old old libraries. First I will show in this video with old libraries. Once it is completed, in next video I will explain with latest libraries. So some note points. These are the very important points. DynamoDB. DynamoDB version V1. So DynamoDB version V1 is the old way of developing code. So some bullet points here. Compatible Springboard version up to up to 3.3.5. It is compatible up to 3.3.5. So next point. So you may get some warnings in conjure due to outdated dependencies. So, but it will not cause any problem. Still, application is working. So, third one, it will not cause issues. So, these are the points about V1 version. It is old version. First, we need to everything we need to learn from the scratch, right? So from roads. So then only we will get a full knowledge about that. That's why I am mentioning this. So let's start. Today our topic is to integrate. To integrate. So today our topic is to integrate Springboard application with AWS DynamoDB, right? To integrate AWS DynamoDB. How to integrate AWS DynamoDB with Springboard application. So first we need to learn about DynamoDB definition. So what is DynamoDB? So we need to learn. So how to integrate AWS DynamoDB with Springboard microservice application, right? Today our topic how to integrate AWS DynamoDB with Springboard microservice application. So which version we are using, which Springboard version we are using in this video? So compatible up to this one, but I want to use Springboard version. Same version I want to use 3.3.5. So so DynamoDB post point suppose definition. What is DynamoDB? AWS DynamoDB is a NoSQL, or some people will call it NoSQL key value data store and helps us to store flexible data models. Flexible data models. What is DynamoDB? So DynamoDB definition. DynamoDB is a no SQL or NoSQL key value data store. So like collections will be there. Records nothing but in NoSQL collections. Columns, right, in SQL database, here fields will be there. Like that, some differences are there. Helps us to store flexible data models. So, like in DynamoDB, fields are growable. In SQL databases, we want to add a new column, then we need to write a alter table. Alter table name, add column like that, right? But here not required. It will be growable. So next configuration. So less configuration DynamoDB. So let's create a table. So these DynamoDB tables are not auto-generated like DDL auto in Spring Boot applications. Some DDL auto update, create, like that. Some properties we will mention right in application.properties or application.yaml files. Those will not work. Tables we need to create manually, but fields can growable. right? So let's open AWS Conjure, aws.amazon.com Conjure. So my account, AWS Management Conjure. So recently I opened, that's why it is without asking password or anything. It is open. So go to DynamoDB, DynamoDB. Steps also I will write so that so you can go through same steps. So step one, go to DynamoDB service. Go to DynamoDB service. Click on create a table. Click on create a table. So after that, create table, right? This is the DynamoDB dashboard. Create a table. So after that, enter table name like enter table name like summary. I want to create a table summary. All are small only. This will be used to identify your table name. So after that, what I need to enter partition key. Partition key is nothing but primary key. Primary key. Primary key. Suppose some ID it will be string. Some ID it will be string. Short key is a optional, so I am not mentioning. See, let's read. The partition key is part of the table's primary key. So partition key is nothing but you can consider like a primary key. It is a as value that is used to retrieve items from your table and allocate data across hosts for scalability and availability. So short key. You can use a short key as the second part of the table's primary key. This short key allows you to sort or search among all items sharing the same partition key. So this short key, let's discuss another video. Let's move on. So after that, so table name we are added. So primary key, partition key we are added, right? Click on create a table. So let's create a table. So are you observed? So I have mentioned table name and partition key name, primary key name. I have not mentioned anywhere columns. Columns are growable dynamically. We need not to mention, right? We need not to mention columns. Create table. So it is saying this table is already exists. So go to tables. This table is already there. Let's delete it. Confirm delete. So just refresh it. No tables, right? Create table. Summary ID. So ID. See binary number string. I am mentioning ID as a string there. So these table settings I am not changing anything. So create table. Once successfully table is created, then I can create a user. So refresh it. So active table. Click on table. Scroll down. Explore table items. See nothing is there here. Nothing is there. So nothing is there. If you want to add a record, create item. Suppose 101. Suppose primary key value is 101. Add new attribute. Suppose string is 26. Create item. So here one collection will be added. In SQL, one record will be added. If you want to delete, select actions, delete items. Rows are here called as items. So we can insert by using Spring Boot application. So table is ready, right? After that, IAM credentials. Why we need these IAM credentials? Connectivity between our Spring Boot application and DynamoDB. For that need so credentials, IAM credentials required to connectivity between our Spring Boot application and AWS. We can we can connect multiple ways like AWS, CLI, Putty tool. So many tools are there. Like so many tools are there. So in this video, I will use AWS CLI. AWS CLI. I will use AWS CLI. It is so IAM credentials are required to connect with AWS, right? We can use multiple like tools like AWS CLI, Putty, etc. But in this video, I will add code. Access key. I will add code access key and secret key in my application. In my application, I will add code. Next video, I will use AWS CLI to connect AWS. So what will happen when I connected with so what will happen when I connected AWS with AWS CLI. It will store credentials credentials like access key, secret key, where .aws folder. So so by default it will pick it up. It will pick up. I will explain how it will happen in next video. So in this video I will hard code it. So steps, click on AWS account name. Click on AWS account name. So see, this is the account name. Scroll down, security credentials. Click on AWS account name. Drop down, click on security credentials. Security credentials. Scroll down, access keys, access keys. Credentials. So drop down, click on security credentials. Up to done. Scroll down, access keys. Now I need to scroll down, access keys. See access keys. Create access key. So continue to create access keys. I understanding creating a root access key is not a best practice, but I still want to create one. So root access. Here I am not using any programming, any user. I am straightly using the root user. Create access key. Copy this access key. Access key. After this video completed, I will delete. So don't try to use. If you try to use also, your application will not work. Secret key. Once my this video is done, I will delete it. So drop down access keys. Drop down access keys. Click on create access key. Click on create access key. Copy access key and secret key. It's done. Access key, secret key is done. So, so here I am using the see here I am using the root user. Root user. Right? So here I am using the root user. So I am using the root user, right? Now suppose I am not using root user. Suppose I am using the programmatic access. Then what I need to do, I will show that also IAM. IAM programmatically programmatically we can connect with DynamoDB. So this is the second way. So table is created. Either we can straight away for root user, I can create access key, secret key and use, or I can create a user. After that, I can use it. So see here, IAM programmatically we can connect with DynamoDB, right? We can connect with DynamoDB. So for that, so click on click on IAM service. We need to click on IAM service. So search IAM, Identity Access Management. Now IAM users, click on IAM users. Click on IAM service. Click on IAM users. Click on IAM users. After that, create user. So click on create user. So suppose Shankar -v1. So provide user access to the AWS management console. So in addition to console access, users with single local development access permissions can use the same console credentials for programmatic access without the need for access keys. So, so let's click on checkbox. Click on checkbox. Click on checkbox. So, so enter username done, right? So select checkbox. We selected, right? We selected the checkbox auto generated password. I am not changing that one. So click on next. So, click on next. After that, click on create group. Click on create group. So we need to enter the group name head Shankar-D. At last, you can mention like some what we are creating. If creating user, you can mention like you kind of. If you are creating group, you can mention G like that. Suppose in ECS, Elastic, container service, we are creating task definitions. You can mention at last task, if service, cluster. At last, you can mention like cluster to identify what is that. We can easily identify by using that. So DynamoDB, DynamoDB full access. See, we need a V1 version. V1 means this one. When we are using V2, we can select that one. Permission policies. So after that, search for permission policies on policy DynamoDB full access. DynamoDB full access. So create user groups. Click on create user groups. Click on create user groups. User group. So these are the three users. I created this one. So click on next. Click on next. After that, click on next. Click on create user. Tags I am not added. Click on create user. That's it. I will repeat this. IAM programmatically we can connect with DynamoDB. Click on IAM service. Click on IAM users. Click on create user. So once it is done, click on checkbox provide user access to the AWS console management. Click on next. Click on create group. Here policies. Search for permission policies. This is we need this policy. Click on create user groups. Click on next. Click on create user. It is done right. So let's verify it is properly done or not. Download. So programmatic access credentials. So return to the users list. This is the user I just now created, right? Shankar user. Click on this Shankar user. See any groups are attached. So add user to groups. For this user, no groups are attached. So one group is attached, right? So IAM username. See, two policies are there. So one group is attached. For that, after that, click on IAM users. Click on IAM users, users. Select username. Select username. We need to select. Go to groups section. We need to go to the group section. This is the group section. Add user to groups. Click on add. Click on add user to groups. Click on add user to groups. So we are added. We are selected. Add user to groups. We done right. So groups 1 Shankar user have one group attached. So click on IAM user, select username, go to group section, click on add user to groups. It's done. So now we need to get service endpoint. So we need to get a service endpoint. DynamoDB service endpoint. We need to get a DynamoDB service endpoint. So for that, we need to search in Google like DynamoDB service endpoint. Click on first link. Click on first link. Click on first link. DynamoDB service endpoint. So Amazon DynamoDB endpoints. This link. Control C. This is the link. Here in this programmatic access, so we created user. For user we are added groups to the user. In for group we are added policies, right? So for this programmatic access, if you want to generate access key, secret key, I will show that part also. So suppose see this is the users. Here security credentials are there, right? Create access key. Like this we can create. It will give access key and secret key. So we go directly username, security credentials we created. See, we created. For root user we are created. If you want to create for specific user, access key and secret key, go to click on IAM users. This is IAM user. Some agent, okay. Dashboard. Here there is a security credentials. You can create access key. So if you want to add any policies, click on group. So permissions, right? Suppose S3. So you need to add some policy, right? Add permissions, attach policy. We need to suppose S3. S3 full access. Like this we need to select and we need to add policies. Right? So now, so which region we are using? We need to know which region. Go to suppose DynamoDB service. By using region only, we need to find out DynamoDB service endpoint. US East -1, US East -1, US East -1. For this endpoint is, what is the endpoint? Let's go to this US East -1, US East -1. For that, this is not a endpoint, accelerator something. US East -1. See, there is a multiple US East and Virginia. Something are there, right? See which one we are using. And Virginia, United States, and Virginia, United States, and Virginia. So let's check newest versions of the AWS MSK connect to AWS DynamoDB using the account-based endpoints listed below. For the following, see account-based endpoints. These are the endpoints we need to pick it up. So DynamoDB dot us east -1 amazon.com. This one. This is the service endpoint. So this is the service endpoint, right? So it is done, right? Let's close the AWS related configuration part is done. So now let's create a Spring Boot application. So let's create a Spring Boot application. So Spring Starter project. Small letters on DynamoDB DB app. Suppose DynamoDB app. Java version 17. I'm not changing. So next. So coming to dependencies, I will use Spring Verb. Later I will add based on the need. I will use this one. AWS DynamoDB related we need to add, but here not available. I will search in MVN repository. I will search for those. So see next finish. Now which version we are decided to use? 3.3.5, right? We are decided to use Spring Boot version 3.3.5. So DynamoDB app, once it is successfully created, so I will change the Spring Boot version. So it is done. Go to pom.xml. So we are decided to use the Spring Boot version 3.3.5. Right? 3.3.5. So after that we need to add 3.3.5, right? Let's update. Right click, Maven update project. Checkbox, select checkbox. Ignore these errors. I will resolve later. So now let's add long box. So how to add? Click, click on project, click on pom.xml. Somewhere starter will be there. Go to dependencies, right click, so Maven Well, let's try to run this application. Three dot 3.5, right? It is giving some error. Okay, let's delete this project. Let's will re-add it. File, new, Spring Starter project, same name, no changes. DynamoDB application. So application com.fst only. Group name. Artifact means application name. Group name means package name. Next, whereby will select next finish. Once successfully created, so first I will add the long bug dependency. Then I will change parent version to 3.3.5. So DynamoDB application. DynamoDB application. This is package explorer, right? Windows appearances. So package project explorer. This is the project explorer. So right click. See Spring is there, right? Add starters. Like this we can add if you are forget any dependencies we can able to add like this. So I want to unbox next select form.xml finish. So let's update this 3.3.5 control as it will be updated. See building 18%, right? So it will be updated. Still error is there, but let's try to run application. Let's observe what will happen. If it is working fine, so I can ignore that error. Java application. So it is not working. Let's scroll down. So we need to add starter verb, right? Okay. Add starters. So Spring add starter. This version is creating issue. But then so do one thing. Add starters. Illegal state exception could not determine Spring Boot version. So let's go to previous application. Let's check. You are using same version only. Okay. So let's remove these two dependencies. Otherwise, Control Z. We need a starter verb, not the MVC. So we need a starter verb. Spring Boot starter verb dependency. Let's change to starter verb. So let's change to starter verb. Starter verb. Starter test. Yeah, that's it. Control S. Now build the most error. See, all errors will be resolved. So right now, if you run, we will not get any errors. Run as Spring Boot application. So let's update it. So Maven update project force update. So right click, run as Java application. See, it is now running in Spring Boot version 3.3.5. No issues, right? It is running. So now we need to add some more dependencies. So what we added as right now, let's note down, right? This is endpoint, right? Take this endpoint. Here mention DynamoDB, DynamoDB service endpoint. This is the DynamoDB service endpoint. So now Spring Boot application. Spring Boot application post one step one dependencies. As of now we are added two dependencies, right? Spring Boot starter verb. In latest version MVC will be changed, right? Some MVC will be added instead of verb. So which version we are using? 3.3.5 version we are using. For this we need to add spring hyphen verb hyphen starter. This is the one dependency we need to add. One dependency we need to add. Second dependency project Lombok. Project Lombok we need to add. Third dependency related to DynamoDB we need to add. I will show. So let's go to the MVN repository. MVN repository. Maven version something will be the repository. Instead of going, if you are searching directly in browser, it will give accurate result, more matching result. So AWS hyphen AWS hyphen Java hyphen SDK hyphen Dynamo DB Maven. If you type like that, it will give accurate result. Directly it is open ambient repository. So when you use which version when it use it is moved to this one, right? Okay, I will use this one. This is latest one. Some vulnerabilities also there. Let's ignore those. So copy, Control C. These are the old version, right? V1 may face some issues. I will fix later. Control Shift F for format. So let's check com.amazon AWS Java SDK DynamoDB. This is the one. Fourth, we need to add some other also. So where we are added, DynamoDB we are added. Spring Boot starter automatically added, Lombard added, test added. So another one, Spring Data DynamoDB we need to add. So let's search in. If you are searching here, you may not get proper exact match like Spring data Spring data DB DynamoDB. See, it is giving some this one we need. This time it is given exact one. So which version I need to pick it up? Let's check. I am picking up this version. Click here. Scroll down. Let's check group ID form dot github dot there just Spring Data DynamoDB. Control C. It is when you are click here, it will be copied. So this dependency we are planning to select our control shift F format control S. When I click control S, it is downloaded dependency here. So dependencies I have added required dependencies. Test related dependencies auto added automatically while I'm adding verb test dependency is added, right? So dependency part is that let's separate and let's rebuild. Right click Maven update project force update of snapshots and releases. So done, right? Now let's complete the application properties. Let's complete this part. We have some properties, right? See, scroll up. These we have. So post one server port. We can server port. Oh, let's take like 9090. After that, DynamoDB endpoint. This is the DynamoDB endpoint, right? It is a DynamoDB endpoint. Maximize. It is DynamoDB endpoint. Amazon dot DynamoDB dot endpoint equal to, see there is no suggestions. So you need to while entering this name keys, when after entering we need to verify, otherwise application may not work. Amazon dot DynamoDB dot endpoint This is the Amazon DynamoDB endpoint. It is done right. After that, Amazon dot AWS dot access key. So it is not good practice hard coding access key and secret key, but still I am continuing in this video. Next video I will pick from .aws folder Amazon dot AWS dot access key. So Amazon dot AWS dot secret key. So this is the secret key. Don't try to use these access key and secret key. I will delete after this video. So you may get some errors. Next one, Amazon dot AWS dot region. Do you know most of the AWS services are region specific, right? Most of the AWS services are region specific. When I started learning AWS, so in one region I have created easy to service. Some virtual machine I have created. After that I have switched. Suppose I created virtual machine in US-East-1 service, one region. In this region I have created virtual machine. Easy to. So after that I switched to episode 1 and I verified there is no easy to this instance. I tried multiple times. I have so like I confused totally. Where my easy to service instance I have created. So after that I understand these are the services. Most of the services are belonging to region specific services, global services. So this region we are using now. Done. So this is the server port. Server port. These are the AWS credentials. Credentials. Endpoint access key. Secret key. Region. Right? So these are the our choice keys. That's why there is no suggestions. These are the our choice keys. That's why there is no suggestions. Remember, these are the our choice keys. You can also write different way. So it is done. Now application dot properties. These are the application dot properties. So like tell me application dot properties are past or application dot YAML is the past. YAML file is the fast one compared to properties file. YAML file is the fast one. So, but most of companies still using the properties. So, We can also convert. I will show. We can also convert application file to YAML file. That is possible. Step 3. That is possible. I will show. See, this is the application dot properties are there, right? See, convert dot properties to YAML. See, convert dot properties to YAML. So by using this, we can able to convert this to the properties file to YAML file. If you click form.xml, these options are changing, like add starters. By using, we can add dependencies, add dev tools. Dev tools nothing but whenever we did some changes and saved, auto restarted. Dev tools are nothing but auto restarted, right? Dev tools are meant for auto restart. So now let's create a configuration class. Do one thing, let's add some packages, then we will complete one by one. So like we need some packages, right? So close this one. This is the done. com.fsd, right? New package package dot config. So dot configuration. To connect, we need to connect, right? We need to connect with DynamoDB. For that, we need to write like AWS client filter, endpoint configuration, AWS static credentials provider, default provider, like that, right? For that, class DynamoDB DynamoDB config, enter. So what is this? It is a configuration class. At configuration, check the package names also. Sometimes if you are imported wrong package, may our application may not work. So here we need to read what we need to read in. So SRC main resources, there are 4, right? So Amazon DynamoDB endpoint, Amazon AWS access key, Amazon AWS secret key, Amazon AWS reason. These we need to read. These are the static credentials. So private string endpoint, private string endpoint. String is a class, so first letter is capital. At the right of value. The value, Lombok value is there, Spring Boot is there. We need to import Spring Boot related. So dollar it is recommended to copy paste. Otherwise, sometimes maybe will enter wrongly keys, then it will throw some errors. or gives null as a response. Total 4, right? So endpoint access key, access key, secret key, region. This is the Amazon.aws.access key. So secret key. This is the secret key. So region. This is the region. So it is a configuration class, right? In configuration class, what we will do, like beans we will create, right? Beans, usually we will create a beans. So we need to create a DynamoDB bean now. So now we need to create a DynamoDB bean. So how to create DynamoDB bean? Let's see. So we need to create a DynamoDB bean, right? So we need to create DynamoDB bean. So public public Amazon DynamoDB. For this we need to create a bean. So Amazon DynamoDB. Amazon DynamoDB. Now builders will be there, right? Return Amazon DynamoDB builder. So here new, let's check AWS client builder, AWS client builder. So, dot endpoint configuration, endpoint configuration will be there, right? Endpoint configuration. Here we need to mention endpoint and region. So here we need to mention endpoint and region. After that, with we need to mention So it is not showing any options. So Amazon DynamoDB client builder, Amazon DynamoDB client builder. So we need to mention standard. So we need to mention like standard with credentials. Check with credentials. You can move this to here with credentials. These are the static credentials, right? AWS credentials, AWS static credentials, AWS static credentials provider. In that new basic AWS credentials. So we need to mention the access key and secret key here. We need to mention the access key and secret key here. After the dot, so I need to build. So we need to build, right? So Amazon DynamoDB client builder dot standard dot with endpoint configuration with endpoint configuration. We need to mention here with endpoint configuration. Finally, it will be build, right? So new AWS client builder dot endpoint configuration. Check the imports. So Amazon DynamoDB client builder, Amazon DynamoDB client builder dot standard with endpoint configuration. New AWS client builder dot endpoint configuration endpoint region with credentials AWS credentials provider new basic AWS credentials access key and secret key. Here we need to mention the build, but you are getting some error. Let's remove the imports. Let's re-import DynamoDB V2. It is showing V2. So which dependencies we need to enter? P2 DynamoDB we need to enter. After that builder V2. So client builder Amazon. Okay. Com dot Amazon AWS client builder, it is fine. Next, so AWS static, this one. Next, basic details, auth one, this one. AWS credentials, for AWS credentials, this is not AWS credentials, basic AWS credentials. That's it. So we are getting some error. We need a, so it is saying it is not applicable. So I am checking here why it is giving error. Is not applicable argument. Amazon DynamoDB client builder. DB client builder dot start with endpoint configuration. Client builder dot endpoint configuration region. So with client configuration with so actually it is not client configuration with endpoint configuration with endpoint configuration. So select Control Shift F4. See now there is no error. It is a with endpoint configuration. So it is not there. So now it is done right. Let's save this file. Let's create a entity. Let's create a entity. So which table we are created? Go to the DynamoDB console. This is the recently visited DynamoDB. Let's go to DynamoDB. Go to tables. Summary table were created. Right? Summary table were created. So close this one. New class entity package name. Class name is so summary is a class. Summary is a class. Finish. So here I want to use lambda connotations. Like we can use straight away like that. We can use like this. It is combination of multiple annotations. What are those? I will explain. So private string ID. It is a primary key or partition key. In DynamoDB partition key, like NoSQL databases, it is a partition key. In SQL database, it is a primary key. Primary key like whether long or string. Any type. Based like string type or integer type. So see, I use it at data annotation. It is long block annotation. See how many methods are generated. So constructor it is by defaultly zero argument constructor is there. This is last ignore. Can equal method is added. Equal method is added. So getter method as code set id set method toasting can equal is not needed for as code equals these are not needed. So I will use separate annotations based on the need. Setter is needed for the getter. Toasting all are constructor. No are constructor. All are constructor. These are the needed. So table we need to mention right table DynamoDB table. Let's check what are the attributes are there. Table name one attribute. Double quotes SUMMRY summary. So I need to indicate like it is a partition key. So at the rate of DynamoDB ASCII. DynamoDB ASCII. Here let's check what are possible options are there. Attribute name. It is the ID. So I want auto generate this. DynamoDB auto generate key. Auto generate key. So next one summary, right? For summary I need to use some fields private for summary title. Summary title at the rate of DynamoDB So DynamoDB attribute. Let's check possible options mapped by attribute name. Attribute name. What is the attribute name? Title. So let's copy this one. After that, description. Description. So Control C, Control V, description. After that, status. So status, status. Next one. So summary, right? Status, description, title. Assume some product. Let's add some. So some amount kind of amount. Let's add some amount. 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 So I am author of this file. Let's add. Okay, it is done. We can also able to add other as well. Check. Yeah, other like this. We can also add who developer this. So I am developer. So I am the author of this file. Summary. Check the table names. Summary. Here also verify once. Summary. 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 Otherwise, maybe it will fail. Control S. Entity is ready, right? So let's add the repository. So class entity is done. After that, repository dot repository. Repository class name is summary repository. Summary repository finish. So we taken it as the class, but it is a interface. Interface. If you want to add at repository, but it is optional. It is optional. If you want to, you can add. Extends. We need to extend card repository. Class type. Summary. Our class is summary. ID type string. Maximize controllers. Who developed this file? I am. So who is author of this file? Controller. It is done. So this location we need to mention where in DynamoDB we need to mention here at enable DynamoDB repositories. At enable DynamoDB repositories. See, annotation to enable DynamoDB repository will scan the packages of the annotated configuration class of Spring Data repositories by default. So, maximize what needs to do, need to mention the package com.fsd.repository. So, must be in brackets. And what is the attribute? Page packages. It is done. So now configuration part is done, entity is done, repository is done. So repository is done, right? Service. So service is pending. Let's create a service class. I will take one interface. So interface summary service, like summary service. So I will do 3 operations like save summary, get summary list, like all summaries. These 3. So post save summary. So summary. What it will return? It will return the summary. So import. One by one, I will add, post this one, save summary. So this is a interface. Let's move to service. So service, move to service pack. So let's add a IMPR class. Summary service IMPR. Interface we need to select here summary service. Finish. Here also let's add who developer this file. Other name. So myself, I am developer this file. So I am added other name. Next, maximize. So it is a service class, right? We need to annotate with at service. What is at service? It is a stereotype annotation. Stereotype annotation is the one of the stereotype annotation at service. Usually we will develop what we will develop business logic. Usually they will develop business logic. So right here we need to here inject repository, right? We are trying to save data in database, DynamoDB database. So we need to inject. So I will choose through constructor injection by using long block annotation. Required R constructor. Here private final. We can also use that auto void like that. If you want to, you can use summary repository. Summary repository. So summary repository dot save. So I need to mention the summary. Controllers. Service is done. Let's go to controller. So new class. So let's create a controller one. Controller. Summary controller. Finish. So it is a REST control. We need to inject right service through Lombard connotation and constructor injection. Let's inject required our constructor. Private final. We need to must use final. Otherwise it will not work. So I am using the interface, not the implementation class. Service summary. Now let's create an endpoint. Public response entity. So what we are expecting. So I will change this ladder point. Save summary. So request body, right? Request body. Made this one. Summary. So now summary service dot save summary. It will return the summary. Saved summary. So return return response entity dot response entity dot okay double save summary save summary. So I will mention class level path. So request mapping class API class level path post mapping summary controllers. First I will return full object after that. So like I will mention like summary successfully saved with ID. Like that I will change it. Right? So now what I need to do, I will it through postman. First go to starter class. Let's run this application. Run as Spring Boot application. So application failed to start. So it is saying being not found. Configuration class we are not annotated, right? Yet being we are not annotated. That's why it is failed. Yet being. See multiple had been, right? Controllers. In configuration class we are creating the bean, so right? This is the starter class. Right click run as Spring Boot application. So we are getting some error. So earlier initially I said some errors we will get. See, may get some warnings in console due to outdated dependencies. Ignore this. Some of the I will try to fix it. See, deprecation announcement. This I will try to fix. Go to form.xml. So go to form.xml. I will explode one Lombok related dependency. So here I will explode one Lombok dependency. So let's remove scope. So exclusions inside exclusions exclude Here, just copy group ID, artifact ID. Group ID, artifact ID. We need to mention common common logging. So artifact ID commons log same, both are same. Common log. Select all, Control Shift F for Control S. So try to restart it. Right click, run as Spring Boot app. See, still are there some of the still not resolved, but our application still it will work. So some issues are there, but still our application will work. Go to found.xml. So let's verify again. Spring Boot version 3.3.5. So we are okay. Let's stop this. It is indicating like AWS Java V1 disable deprecation announcement. Deprecation announcement. Let's ignore that. Let's run a Spring Boot application. So I am using Spring Boot version 3.3.5. So it is up and running. Let's see if any error is occurred, then we will try to fix it. So go to Postman. If any issues, we will try to fix it. Go to Postman. Here, these are the table, summary table, explore table items. There is no rows are there, right? Collections are not exist at. So let's take new one. This is the first URL. So localhost port taken 9090 host API slash summary body ra JSON. So I need to enter the JSON, right? ID is auto generated. I need to enter. So title So what is title? Monthly expense summary. Monthly expense summary. Agent monthly expense summary. Next description. So summary of June June month expenses. June month expenses. So June started right. May expenses. After that status. So status. Status is suppose active. Status is active. So next one amount. It is a float rate amount like 1250 12,050 suppose dot 75 something. So let's hit send a request. So send a request. See internal server error. API summary. Somewhere it is missing. Let's check console. Invalid key value pair missing equals sign. Missing equals sign. So, incomplete signature exception. Invalid key value pair. Missing equal signature. Some error we are getting. So let's check DynamoDB. We are mentioned this right. So table summary amount. So now go to restart this one. Maybe due to this some space issue. I feel it is fail and try again. Run a Spring Boot application or Java application, both are same. Send the request. Same error. Invalid key value pair are missing. Authorization address. proxy none. So go to DynamoDB configuration, region, secret key, access key, endpoint, region, access key, secret key, service endpoint, single region, secret key. Let's check endpoint, DynamoDB. So let's check the endpoint. So DynamoDB -us -east Amazon.com. Right? So let's check. So somewhere here some mistake is there. That's why it is failing. So let's check. So we are getting some error, right? Windows show you conjure DynamoDB exception. DynamoDB exception. So let's check invalid key value pair. So CR port 9090 DynamoDB dot US east one dot Amazon.com access key secret key region. So it is the correct one. Next go to the config. So it is a configuration class enable DynamoDB repository base package com dot fsd dot repository endpoint access key secret key region. Endpoint region access key secret key. Go to the entity summary. DynamoDB ASCII auto-generated attribute title DB attributes. Do one thing, let's delete the access key and secret key. Let's regenerate. So for that, go to security credentials. So go to security credentials, select one actions, deactivate, deactivated. Need to confirm it, delete, create, select, create, access key and copy this access key. Go to it is a access key. It is a secret key. Control S, stop server. So go to start array class, right click, run as Spring Boot app. So send request. So it is failing somewhere. Let's clean up the console. Send. So it is giving some error. So okay, take the call, import, send. Same issue. So let's see. So let's see what will happen. Let's observe these logs. So it is issue related to application or properties file. So controllers stop the server. Some space is will be there. Run as Spring Boot application. Stop this one. Let's retype us-is-1 controllers. So rerun run as Spring Boot application. Clear console. Hit enter. So go to amazon.dynamodb.endpoint. Check your configuration properties. So amazon.dynamodb.endpoint. Access key region. So close this one. Reopen. Do one thing. Cut this. Control V. Control X. Cut this. Control X. Go ahead. Control V. No spaces, right? Check no spaces. Stop the server. Somewhere some space is who is coming. Right click, run as Spring Boot application. Clear it. See 2200. Okay. Go to DynamoDB. Tables. Table. Explore table items. See one record is inserted, right? ID, amount, description, status, title, right? So this is our post curl, post save curl. Save operation we are done, right? Now save operation we're done. Go to resources. Let's add a one folder, one text, like one file, carl.txt. Save operation. Save operation. So as after that some get operation like that. So now again go to service. We need to add another endpoint, like we need to build another. So now go to service. Let's add another two endpoints quickly. So it is service, right? First go to the interface. First go to the interface. Get summary. Here get summary string ID. So it will return the summary. Control S, go to IMPL, maximize. So here string ID, right? So summary repository dot find by ID. Find by ID. We need to pass the ID dot else throw, what I need to throw, else throw some lambda expression new runtime exception saying summary not found. Summary not found. Summary not found. ID. RL throw. Find by ID dot RL throw. So these are the optional single line only, right? These brackets are optional, not needed. The last remove it. First I will change. Instead of go to controller, first I will change here. It is returning entire object. I don't want string. So I will do here. So summary is saved successfully. Successfully with ID. With ID. So save summary dot get ID. So let's stop server. Go to starter class, right click, run as Spring Boot app, save and launch. Ignore these errors. I will try to monthly expense summary. Amount I will change. So send. The summary is saved successfully with ID. Right? It is looking good. Instead of returning entire object as a response. So now go to controller. So save right. Go to controller. We need to implement another endpoint. But for ID related, right? So maximize public. Do on the just copy. It will save or sometime. Control V. Get mapping. Summary slash ID. ID. So I am taking here path variable, not request path variable. Path variable here brackets we need to pass. Request param not needed these brackets. Remember those points. So path variable. Path variable. So string ID. String ID here get summary. So ID. Suppose summary I will receive. So instead of this, I will return same directly. This summary itself I will return. Summary. That's it. Stop the server. Right click run as Spring Boot app. So copy the ID. Go to get summary some id, right? Some id send. Yeah, this is the result. So next video we will do some more operations. In this video we are successfully understand how to integrate Spring Boot application with AWS DynamoDB service. So continuation in I will explain in next video. Thank you for watching. For more videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel.